Welcome to the 10th workshop. So it's going to be about relationships, community, basically about your support system. When I was interviewing people in retirement, they mentioned a couple of types of relationships. So intimate relationships, which are more like a spouse, a partner relationship, then family relationship with their family, with their kids, grandkids, but also their siblings or even their parents. And then they mentioned friends, obviously, different types of friends, different levels of friends, and I will talk about it later. And they also mentioned the support system in a sense of relationship to something bigger, like God, universe, whatever you believe in or they believed in. And also one thing that I heard was community. So being part of something bigger where people share the same purpose, the same goals, that you meet people with a similar philosophy, life philosophy, like for example, Toastmasters, if you know Toastmasters, where you can learn public speaking. It's a community that feels sometimes like a family. When I started Toastmasters, I felt like in the family, but there are different types of communities. I would like to cover mainly the intimate relationships, so partners, spouses, what happens, what I heard, and friends, and maybe also a bit community. What I heard from men. So men said that with retirement, usually women are more comfortable being at home. So when they retire, they feel like they're a bit out of their comfort zone. They are kind of disturbing women. And what I heard from women was that men were a bit disturbing. Really, I think it really depends. It depends what the setup was. It's also, I think, generational thing. Some women were staying at home with their kids. So it really depends. I think, it depends on the relationship. And definitely I heard it was kind of a test of the relationship to suddenly spend time together at home. Plus another topic which is related to that, and that's emptiness syndrome. So kids are away and then suddenly it's just only two people interacting with each other. It was really like a question what to do with the relationship, and sometimes it didn't last, but sometimes the couple needed to find some ways how to find more connection. Some people mentioned traveling. Pierre mentioned that when he retired, he had a lot of things to do at home because his wife wanted him to do all the works. But she wanted to spend more time with him, and they went for a big travel, and it really bonded them together. Some couples started doing some activities together. When I separated from my partner, I went for a weekend to kind of a weekend for people who are divorced, separated, widows. And I met couples who were actually kind of facilitators. Couples who were retired and they were facilitating together the little groups, and it seemed to be giving them a lot of purpose, and again it bonded them together. So. And then some other people mentioned that actually it's great, that their relationship is really great, and now they know each other, and now they are alone without kids, they have more time together. So yeah, it really depends. How to build new friendships. I heard that concept a couple of years ago when I was relatively new to Belgium, and basically the first stage of friendship is strangers. But that means I I know of you. So, for example, it could be someone who you meet on the street, or maybe even someone with whom you do some exercises. Or when we met for the first time in this Zoom call, we were mostly strangers, even though I knew some of you, but mostly we were just strangers. Then the second stage is acquaintances. So you already know the name, and you start getting to know the person. It's from, I don't know, from social settings. If you relate it to work, it's maybe your colleagues. You know their names, but you don't really interact that much with them. So I know you. And then basically every time you go from strangers to acquaintances and to the next level, which is casual friends, you always need to make a step. So for example, from acquaintances to move to casual friends, it's always good to take the relationship from the usual environment outside. For example, if we are here on this Zoom call together and we are usually meeting, if someone is interesting for you or to you and you want to get to know them better, you can schedule a one-on-one call with that person and get to know them a bit more. So maybe become casual friends. I like you. I maybe hang out with you virtually or somewhere in the restaurant. The next stage is close friends. So I understand you. So you are already telling them a little bit more than to your casual friends. You share more how you feel or what you think. And then the last step is intimate friends. So I connect with you. You really vibe on the same level, and you can talk about anything, and there is no judgment. You support each other. I mentioned the couples, so people who had a partner or spouse. Obviously, your partner and spouse can be your intimate friend, but you can have also intimate friends, maybe female friends if you are a woman. And I think also when people are alone, because I talked to people who were not married, who didn't have kids, and they all mentioned a certain intimate relationship they had. So one person said, my sister is really my go-to person. I talked to her about everything. So even if there is no spouse or partner, I think we all need this intimate friend who is always there, and you are in contact with them very often. You share and exchange. So I talked about the intimate relationships, friendships, and the community. And community, I think it's such an important thing, because I think we want to belong somewhere. So people are looking for different types of communities. For example, coaches. I know that Johan was involved a lot in the coach federation, Elsa as well. So depending on the hobbies, depending on your interests, I think we all can find a community. I was thinking when I was interviewing people, I was thinking that it would be really nice to have a community of people who are kind of at certain stage of life and they still want to develop their project, their passions. Maybe they want to do it on social media. So have a group of people who support each other, who maybe share their knowledge, experience, and kind of take the work independently on their projects, but have something like a support group. And in case this is something interesting for you, let me know. Let's move to the discussion. Questions you can explore. So what kind of relationships are important to you? What kind of relationships would you like to further develop? And how can you develop these relationships? For the next time, I would like to take some time to go back, so that you look back a bit and think about your journey with me and with us. And I prepared some questions to think about. So, what were your favorite moments during these sessions? Or maybe a specific moment at any of the session? What were your key insights and learning about yourself, about retirement? How would you like to use this learning in your next steps? And what do you need to continue your journey?